Attention all bakers, doubles vendors and roti makers. Try our high-quality bromate-free, all-purpose and whole wheat flour. Low price and conveniently packaged in 2 pounds, 2 kg, 10 kg and 25 kg bags. For wholesale and retail prices, contact Shiklisho Limited at 665-3336 or 480-8715 or visit us at Warrenville, Canoopia. Shiklisho Limited, quality you can trust.
For the everyday lowest prices on all grocery items, trust Low Cost Supermarket for the widest variety of quality products at low prices. Freshly picked fruits and vegetables, healthy products for your well-being, high quality meat cuts, and a warm and friendly service. Low Cost Supermarket, Sun and Main Road, Canoopia.
No more games. You always break the table when you lose. Promise? 4110 Jigsaw. Watch it. Don't you dare. Ronix.
Mitsu Air Limited, authorized Mitsubishi air conditioning dealer. No need to replace your air conditioning units ever so often. Split units, cassette, ductable, CTVIF systems and much more. Mitsubishi Electric has long been powering industries and providing solutions for healthy living. Mitsu Air Limited boasts the industry's first 10-year warranty on all parts and labor. Inverter units are also available. Don't hear it, just feel it. Mitsu Air Limited, 246 Eastern Main Road, Barataria. Give us a call at 674-4000 or 675-4000 or email us at mitsu.limited@gmail.com.
Assalamu alaikum and good evening and welcome to Breaking Barriers here on IBN Channel 8. Of course, it's a gorgeous Wednesday evening here in Trinidad and Tobago, and for many of you right now, I know a lot of you probably would have lifted the refrigerators and the stoves. Some of you would have made preparations already to make your claim that your refrigerator not working and the government have to give you one. Right? Modi, and Trinidad is the only place where your fridge could get wet and it ain't good again. So for those of you who are in flood-prone areas, take my stupid advice. Take off your breakers, lift your refrigerators and your stoves. If your stove get wet, that doesn't mean to say it's no longer good. So take advantage of some sensible advice in regards to the flood waters, because quite frankly, you don't know what may take place later on tonight if the waters may actually come up and you get up in a waterbed, right? So we don't know how things will go. Of course, for those of you who need to contact me, and I have this bad habit for the last 20 years, always touching my nose, and it was brought back to me again everybody tell me about I have this bad habit. Yes, I do. It's something that I cannot break that easily because when you have this size of nose, you have no choice. All right, so let's, of course, welcome our first sponsor. And, of course, we welcome Tile Expression. And remember, for all your tiles, you can check them out and they're located right there in Chaguanas. And you can get everything tile-related. And tell them, of course, that you heard it right here on this program. All right, so let me just get started with a few things. Number one, I was warned again by the Telecom Authority about showing graphic images. And, of course, I tell the Telecom Authority where they could go. The reality of it is that Facebook is also controlled by the Telecom Authority. And you don't hear them talking. You don't hear them talking about anything. The fellas and them who does be cussing, it have one station who does be cussing members of the African community. And then it have a next side of the station who does be cussing members of the Indian community. And all of a sudden, you don't hear anything about that. It have people who showing blood and gore 24 hours a day. But you don't hear nothing from that, right? And this is a letter that they sent to me. Display of graphic images, Telecom Authority, right? Over the last few months, the authority has observed that there are television stations. Now, this is to tell you, you're addressing a letter to me. Why the hell are you talking about everybody else, right? Graphic images and video footage of sensitive matters, such as dead bodies, mutilations of the body and acts of violence, inclusive of murder, without blurring or providing sufficient warning to viewers. Come back to me, Albert. I want Trinidad and Tobago, according to that, insufficient. I just tell people, turn away, carry your children in the back, all your clothes, all your eye, all that before. And plus, I show this warning. Could I get a little sample? That want me to make that warning any bigger or what? What happened? All you have a 21-inch TV home and all you can't see it big? All you want me to help all out with a 55-inch? Here what happening at that. All you find something to do that is useful, because if all you believe that all you could come to frustrate me, all you're frustrating a frustrated man. I am not going to genuflect. I am not going to bend down over dotishness. I believe in complying with the law. I am a law-abiding citizen. But when it comes to stupidity, I will take all it to court. I will take all it to court and I will show the level of discrimination that exists where that is concerned. What is that doing about all those videos running on Facebook? Nothing. As soon as something happens, because that is supposed to be in control of the transmission of video images, anything that goes over the airwaves could be a breach, a so-called breach. So therefore, somebody trying to urgently call me? Right, good. Here we go. Right. Only I could do that on television. Yes, anyway, don't disturb me. I don't know why this Prime Minister only calling me. Right, Rowley, I'm busy. Right, so here what's happening now. Let us go back to that letter. We really thought that was him, no? Right, let's go again. Right, images of this nature may be disturbing not only to members of the viewing public. So wait now, all them people and them that dead, and it's because we have a police commissioner who's a baby and a national security minister who is a national failure. All those murders that are taking place with innocent people, that is not disturbing. But the images and the videos are disturbing to that. Let me go again. Right? We remind you that as a television broadcaster, it is necessary that you exercise due care and attention in the broadcast of this type of content and the impact that such content may have on viewers. In this regard, broadcasters must incorporate the appropriate blurring of images and the inclusion of a disclaimer or warning in advance. Here what happening, Ajit. Come. This is the only week I'm not going to show any graphic images. But next week I'm going to show twice as much. Because my attorney, Richard Jagesa, my boy, Adam Williams, we have forwarded the letter, and we are going to show that how we does rule. Because at the end of the day, I always say, you see government entities that genuflect because of the entity that they represent. The reality of it is that that is a PNM tool. And anybody who can't see that, blind as a bat, because all of a sudden is harassment. And I'm sure I'll get a next letter for this too as well, right? Oh, don't worry, I'm going to send a copy of the program. Right? I don't know. I'm going to send it in HD too, just to frustrate all. All right, so let's go to the slides, guys. Right. You know, this is so true. Welcome to Trinidad, where we are surrounded by water, flooded by water, but we never have water. And that is correct. 60 years. 60 years. You know, 60 years of independence, and you can't get water in the taps. And who you blame? Well, you see, I blame myself, because people like myself tend to support people who do nothing, and I've done it in the past, and I have begged for your forgiveness. But talking about forgiveness, yesterday, I don't know what kind of traffic that was from Port of Spain, but God help all of you who had to trek from Port of Spain to San Fernando yesterday. It was absolute madness, and your 41 MPs were home rather comfortable, relaxing themselves while you were stuck in traffic. And I keep telling people, we are a nation that accepts everything, we swallow everything, we take everything with a grain of salt, and we don't worry, and we continue to go on. When are we going to wake up as a nation and realize that enough is enough? Like right now, we have millions of dollars being spent on dredge and drain. Correct me if I'm wrong, Moody, but don't you normally dredge the drain during the dry season in preparation for the wet season? So that if you're dredging the rivers and the river courses now, isn't it fact that everything will fall back into the river? Isn't it fact that the banks and the supporting structure on the rivers and on the drains will collapse and fall in? Loose. It will be loose? Yeah. Good. At the end of the day, this is what I tell you, I just call on professionals to guide me, you know. And Moody has about 20 years in drainology. And according to him, it is going to fall down. So what sense does it make in the middle of the rainy season, billions of millions of dollars being spent on government friends and family to get contracts? Some of these fellas doing the contracts right now, those were the same fellas who pulled fraud on the government. Under Kamala Prasad Bisesa, hundreds of millions in contracts. And when they dredge, they're dredging 1 inch of dirt. And these are the same fellas that come back now and doing the same stupidness again. Well, I got to tell you, we like it so. Let's go again, guys. I'm running through a few things before. This is bamboo number 2. This is bamboo. Bamboo number 2 we have a garbage pickup service. There is no need for this. So I want to know, who is the rat? Who is the rat or the cockroach that come in here and drop in rubbish when bamboo number 2 have a rubbish truck service? I mean, it can't be somebody from bamboo, because why would you bring your rubbish from your home, carry it out the road, and dump it right in bamboo itself when they could come and pick it up in front of your house? So it have to be some louse, some brainless imp who decide that they will bring their rubbish and dump it in front of bamboo. But don't worry, we go catch you, and that same rubbish, we shall deliver it home on top of your head. Let me just welcome Neil Schultz to this segment. And of course, remember, Neil Schultz is where you get all your European parts. Mercedes-Benz, BMW, Jaguar, Volvo, you name it. They have all the parts, original and replacement. Give them a buzz. Let's go again, guys. I going down the road yesterday. Now, what you're seeing is not brake light on that backhoe. It actually the reflection of my light on his light. This backhoe man driving on government highway with the headlight, you know, they have a bright light on in the back when they're working. Yeah. He driving with it on and blinding everybody behind him. So I would like to hail him out this afternoon. Could we get his number, please? Right, TCP 4437. Right, TCP 4437. Here's a real yayan driving on the road and driving with those bright lights in the back and could cause an accident. Let's go again, guys. We move with speed. Let's go. Right. Yeah. Go ahead. Right. This here now was the murder of the young lady. Remember last week who died? Who got shot and her husband was also murdered? Well, oh, sorry, we're not supposed to show this because this is gruesome. Remember, that's a black, gruesome vehicle. So therefore, we cannot show that. All right? Anything with crime, anything we cannot show now. We are in Nazi Germany now. So here what happened, anything gruesome we're going to show. Like that tree was too gruesome to show. It was red. So here we go do. We got to avoid that completely. Let's go to the other slide, guys. Only for 3 days. Only for 3 days, direct to contractors, right? We have limited stock, $24.95. And all you're paying, where's the comparable price? I have $24.95 for 14-inch shop saw blades. And what is the comparable price there? In Bhagwan Singh, $49.95. $49.95 Moody and $37.95. Right? At Bhagwan Singh. So double the price for similar blades at Bhagwan Singh. So all you know what to do. Imagine that, $24.95 all you getting it for. So all you know what to do. Let's go again, guys. Yeah, let's show that. This is a residential area in Gulfview. And this is around a corner. And people coming around the corner have to dodge a pothole. And they are keeping on the wrong side of the road in Gulfview. And of course, this is Rohani responsibility because Rohan always ignores these things. But of course, it's Gulfview, so maybe it might get some attention. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to open up the phone lines early so that we could talk a little bit because we haven't spoken in the last few weeks. And what I want to discuss before we officially start to take calls is that, you remember that in a while, guys. The murder that took place with the 3 security guards. Now, as I said before, I want my legal letter to go to TAT first before I start back to show all the videos and photos. Because I'm not going to allow these fellas to tie me down when everybody else is allowed to do the same. Because somebody need to get a walk. Right? Somebody need to find a life in TAT. And what happens is that here, what happens if they do have one, I'll get a little husband or wife for them. Now, imagine you as a security guard leaving your family. And by the way, let me just tell you something about security guards. Security guards, most of them get paid $17.50 an hour, minimum wage. And what their bosses get, their bosses make about $13 extra because they charge people on the outside $30 and $40 an hour. And if it's an armed guard, it's about $60, $70 and sometimes even more. So you imagine you working for next to peanuts. Now, I'm not saying that these people were. Maybe I pay their workers more. That is none of my business. So you go out to work. But one of the things that I always tell my employees is here what's happening. If you are going to do a job, make sure you're climbing up to fix that LED screen. Make sure that you have on a harness that could take your weight. Now, you are going to pick up cash, and it's not only cash by Pennywise, it's cash by other companies as well. And you decided to give your employees a normal pickup. A pickup that bullet could go through the door because the door thin like paper because it's a Mitsubishi and that is like rubbish. So the reality of it is that these people who were seated in this vehicle, these security guards, they were just targets. They were open targets because these fellas jumped out of the vehicle and started to shoot. There was no chance, absolutely no chance. So you could imagine, they just picked up the money, rested on the back seat, and as soon as they drove out, boom, bandit come out, pull out the AR-15 and Lego bullet, and 3 of them were murdered. The video that we saw, one of the security guards, his head was bent over and blood was oozing, most likely from the carotid artery, and it was oozing on the ground. And these are the things we want to show you, not because we want to expose the family, but what we want to show you is what is happening in Trinidad and Tobago under Jacob and under the Minister of National Security. And this is where TAT is coming in now to try and block people like me from exposing facts. But like I said, 1 week I take a break from the blood and gore, and next week is back. Let us stop me. I dare them. I challenge them to stop me. So 3 people died. Pennywise, I would like to compliment Pennywise. Pennywise had protocols in place where the whole place locked down. Pennywise gave their staff the next day off as well so that they could recover and mentally stabilize over this incident. But my concern is that what is going to happen now to the families of these 3 breadwinners? What is going to happen to these 3 individuals who lost their lives and now their family needs to be taken care of? What is the security company going to do? Is there an insurance that will cover them? Is this because, let us face facts, these people were not in a position where a gun could have saved them. Normally when you're doing CIT, which is cash in transit, normally you would go with a bulletproof vehicle, a vehicle that is armored, a vehicle that has steel plates on the side, a vehicle that has bulletproof glass, a vehicle that cannot be opened easily from the back on the outside, etc., etc., etc. These fellas had a normal pickup, so they were sitting ducks. But again, my concern is that when you see some of these things taking place, you have to ask yourself, where are we as a nation when 20,000 people could go and watch cricket, and if we say here happening, tomorrow we protesting, 1,000 people don't show up. Because why? We don't care. We don't care. We look at it as shock value. One day, oh God, 3 people dead, where we go do? We spread it all over. We talk about it, oh God, I'm so sorry. And then next day, we are back to normal. Can't work so. It cannot work so at all. Let me just welcome Gate Automation Company Limited, and they're located McBean, Vancouver, for all your gate automating needs. Remember, give them a call because they're the ones that professionally install. Let's open up our phone lines, because what happened is that today I was doing some work and I was in some dust and my throat is killing me. I want to give you a little update as well on the hospital and where we have reached so far. Here is just 1 or 2 videos. Right, as you can see, blocks have started to go up on both sides, and it's working at pace. We have literally thousands and thousands and thousands of blocks there, and we have started, so the bottom floor is being blocked off. So for those of you who have been asking, things have started. So again, I would like to thank all those of you who have assisted us. And by the way, Alescon dropped red concrete for me, which I never saw in my life. I just made a joke with Nisar from Alescon, and I did not know that you could actually get red concrete. I was amazed at that. All right, thank you very much, guys. Mr. Nang. And you see this? Imagine we had to use Oasis water to give people, right? We had to give people bottled water who were going to the bathroom to wash their hands because we didn't have no water. We continue not to have water at Baraka Grounds because, like I say, the Muslim community is like dog down there now. Everybody else, man, putting up new building. They haven't had time to even put up the first beam and they have water connection. But because the Muslim community is like dog in that area, we had to use bottled water to wash hands because we don't get water at all. And it continues. We have been literally begging for 5 years. 5 years under this administration for proper water connection, nothing. Toilets, sometimes they block up, you have to lock up the area. And you know, and let me tell you something, Trinidadians are nasty people. Nasty people. Some of them will go into the toilet because I know if I go into a toilet and use it, partner, here what's happening. If I put toilet paper down there and it flush, I ain't opening a door until I go down, you know. That is how I was brought up. But it have some people looking like they grew up with latrine, right? Where they just leave everything and they go. And this is how some people in Trinidad are. And, you know, it is so sad that next door from us in the Baraka Grounds there is a business place, a big business place, and they have no toilets for their staff. And their staff just come and use our toilets. And believe me, it have some people from abroad. I wouldn't call the place, right? I wouldn't call the places. But some of these places, you know for sure these people don't know how to use our toilet and they don't care how to use our toilet. But they just come and use our facilities. You know, but I ain't gonna ban nobody because, I mean, at the end of the day, people need to go, they need to go. All right, so again, we're opening up our phone lines now. Let us hear what you have to say in regards to that robbery that took place. And guys, give me the notification, please. Tonight looks like it's going to be a very quiet night. I'm going to talk to myself tonight, it looks like. Shake side? Everything okay? Okay, good. Right, so what we're going to do, we're going to take our first break. And when we come back, we'll continue right here on Breaking Barriers. But like I said before, my concern is that when you look at that video that was sent throughout Trinidad and Tobago, to every home, to every phone, to every business place, wherever you were on that day, each one of us, we were touched with the video that came from those from everyone else who showed us what took place in Laramine. And the scary part is that not once anybody heard the commissioner come out and make any statement in regards to that incident. Not once, no incident, not one person came out and made a single statement in regards to what took place there. Not one single person. You know, it is shocking, but the president will go and she will find herself in England to go and give condolences to the Queen. Right? The slave master herself, the Queen, she will go and give condolences there. But for people who are dying like flies in your own country because of poor governance, because of a failed security system, you are not going to tell them, you're not going to say, you know, to the families, to those who passed away, to the families who lost loved ones, you know, condolences to you and to the rest of your family, etc., etc., etc. So what we're going to do, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll continue. We will start to take your calls. And in fact, what I will do, let us do a poll. What we'll do a poll when I come back in regards to that whole murder scene that took place at Pennywise. Do you believe that the security company should be held responsible for what took place with those gentlemen? Yes or no? All right, in regards to the Pennywise, what took place at Pennywise, we're going to ask the question, do you believe that the company, the security company, should be held liable? Yes or no? We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll continue right here on Breaking Barriers. Let me just welcome Automax, and of course, Automax have a full range of products, including antibacterial hand soap, and it ain't no watery thing. This is the high quality stuff. When you put it on your hand, it suds like crazy. All right, so you can actually dilute it and, you know, stretch it a little bit. So we're going to be back in a few seconds. Join us. We'll be back.
No more games. You always break the table when you lose. Promise? 4110 Jigsaw. Watch it. Don't you dare.
Ronix. At Extra Foods, we care for you. That's why we always have the widest variety, the best prices, spacious aisles of total convenience, plus clean, safe surroundings. Let us care for you. Extra Foods, always extra for less.
Attention all bakers, doubles vendors and roti makers. Try our high quality bromate free, all purpose and whole wheat flour. Low price and conveniently packaged in 2 pounds, 2 kg, 10 kg and 25 kg bags. For wholesale and retail prices, contact Shiklisho Limited at 665-3336 or 480-8715 or visit us at Warrenville, Canupia. Shiklisho Limited, quality you can trust.
Mitsu Air Limited, authorized Mitsubishi air conditioning dealer. No need to replace your air conditioning units ever so often. Split units, cassette, ductable, CTVIF systems, and much more. Mitsubishi Electric has long been powering industries and providing solutions for healthy living. Mitsu Air Limited boasts the industry's first 10-year warranty on all parts and labor. Inverter units are also available. Don't hear it, just feel it. Mitsu Air Limited, 246 Eastern Main Road, Barataria. Give us a call at 674-4000 or 675-4000 or email us at mitsu.limited@gmail.com.
And welcome back. And of course, you're watching Breaking Barriers right here on IBN Channel 8. So we're going to open our lines for a poll. And the question is, do you believe that the security company should be held liable, right, based on what transpired with the deaths of those security guards? Yes or no? Do you believe that the security guards, do you believe that the company should be held liable for the death of those security guards? Yes or no? Based on the fact that the vehicle that they gave them was not appropriate. Let's go again, right? So we go in and let's see how fast we can do this. Hello?
Yes, hello.
Yes, go ahead, please.
Yeah, you asked that question just so if we think the security company is responsible, my answer is yes.
Okay, you want to elaborate a little bit? Hello?
Right. Yeah, yes. No, because in the first place, them vehicles is not suitable for the transportation of large sums of money, notwithstanding all them kind of big guns the criminal and them moving with now. You understand?
So definitely you would say that the company has the brunt of the burden basically because the vehicle is not appropriate, correct?
The vehicle is not appropriate. You know, the fellas who toting all this amount of money, they're supposed to have some kind of safety mechanism around them because like the people at in charge of that company in looking at the times we living in right now.
No, I mean, quite frankly, that is, I mean, it was concerning to me because normally when, and licensed firearm holders will tell you, normally when you go into a vehicle, especially with a AR-15 or one of those long, powerful guns, what happens is that normally they would have the butt down and the and the barrel up.
Right.
So therefore, if you have to actually grab to react, you don't get time. And there was literally no time to react. Them fellas then just started to spread bullet like crazy.
So that is why I'm saying the vehicle in itself is not appropriate for that kind of movements with all this set of money. Because, as I say again, the criminal element will always catch you off guard because them coming to take you out, you know.
All right. Well, thank you very much, caller. Thank you so much. And thank you so much. Now, remember, we are all the best. Now, the question is, if you believe that the security company should bear some brunt of burden in regards to this whole scenario where the security guards were murdered. They were murdered, right? Let's go again. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, go ahead, please. You're live.
Right, yeah, and Sean, I'm looking at it from a different angle.
Sure, go ahead.
I think the security guard is definitely, the company is definitely responsible because once they take, they have that cash in their possession and they will even be compound in the public, that make them responsible. As soon as they pick it up, they put it in their vehicle and pull it out, whether bandits are timing them or whatever, that is, or whether the bandits had high-powered guns, that's not their, that is the responsibility of the security company. Because they took it, it's in their, it's in the public there, and that's it. End of story.
Thank you very much, caller. Thank you. They are supposed to be the ones safeguarding that because cash in transit, when you look at movies and you see there have been many movies in the past that I have watched, and you see how these fellas move. Not only that, you would normally find a gun port or a small hole where they would put their where they would put the guns through to fire back, right? And then there was a video, I believe it was in South Africa, where this cash and transit van came under attack, and you could actually see, right, the glass itself being impacted, and the glass not giving in, and simply because it was an armored vehicle, and these fellas were driving, trying to get away. And the driver was really composed. The other fella on the side, he looked like he was about to dead, because he tell himself, well, that is it. He's supposed to pick up gun and look to put pressure one time, but apparently he was in shock. Let's go again. Let's go to lines. Remember, let us hear your thoughts on this whole thing, because so many families have lost loved ones. And the sad reality is that this is just going to be a statistic again. Let me just welcome Mitsu Air to this segment. And remember, Mitsu Air, the only company that gives you a 10-year warranty on parts and labor on their units. And remember, all their units are inverter types. Let's go again. Hello?
Yes, good night.
Good night.
What about the mother who was aiding and abetting in Pennywise?
Boy,
she come as the sixth member, you know.
You know, and don't even start me with that, you know. Imagine that, boy? A mother, boy?
The mother was aiding and abetting.
Correct.
So she have part to do with it.
Well, she have a big part to do with it.
Yeah. Well, I know for sure. I know for sure she probably lost her job.
No, well, she shall lose more than her job.
Yeah.
It is because of her alleged information that they acted and did what they had to do. Because if it was not for her, she was the timekeeper. What time they go in, what time they come in. So therefore, I agree with you 100%. She has to, I want to see what is going to happen where she's concerned. Because quite frankly, you needed one to stay alive so that you could get information to find out if it have a bigger man in the picture.
Right.
Thank you very much, Kola. But, you know, I was looking at some videos today, and would you believe there are some people congratulating the fellas, and there were one or two posts on Facebook congratulating these fellas that they did well. The only thing is that they get caught. Imagine that. People were congratulating them that, you know, the way they move, how brave they were, and how, you know, a professional they were. But the only sad thing is that they get caught. I think I have a copy of the post. Let me see if I get it, and I'll send it to Studio Tam. Let's go back to our lines. Hello? Hello?
Hi.
Yes, go ahead, please.
I'm here.
Yes, go ahead, you're live.
Yeah, good night, Sean.
Good night.
Yeah, concerning the robbery.
Go ahead.
What I'm trying to say is that Allied Security, I blame them to a point, right? I blame them for the vehicle they use, right? Likewise, Pennywise, I think they should have known better in the sense of hiring armored vehicles, amalgamated G4. Because when you look at these G4 vehicles and you look at amalgamated vehicles, I don't think them fellas will think twice to go around them vehicles that try to rob them. Yeah?
No, but the thing is that, remember, at the end of the day, Amalgamated, there isn't a contract that Amalgamated ain't getting, you know. Amalgamated getting contracts all over, so Amalgamated have the money to spend on armored vehicle and excessively armored vehicles. But they have also been in the business of security for a long time too, so Amalgamated could afford. And then a lot of the problems that I'm hearing is that a lot of these security companies, somebody just texted me here from a security company, and he said he has been applying for years to get permission to bring in an armored vehicle for his company. So you cannot even get permission to bring in an armored vehicle for your security company. So that is another thing. Maybe it is Allied could show us where they applied 5 years ago and they have denied them. You know, because an armored vehicle could be used for, you know what, to put on a walkway. I don't know who getting it too. Let me just welcome here Bill Talas, and of course Bill Talas Foundation to finish home construction, $540 per square foot, and that includes everything and anything. Plus, you could visit them and you could get everything for your home from the foundation to finish. I'm talking about galvanized sheets, alu zinc sheets, flashing, decking, give them a buzz, 299-4079. Let's go back to our lines. Remember, when you call in, turn on the volume on your television, please. Now, the question tonight is simple, right? Do you believe that the company should bear some responsibility for what took place with those security guards? Let's hear. Let me see that slide, please. Remember, I was telling you about a comment that somebody made? They did everything good. Just good. Just the escape part went wrong. Boy, shaking my head. Still them, well, of course, so-and-so police should not kill the youths them. Look at this, sir. No, it is okay. This is what I tell you. This is what I tell you. I have brainless people in society, you know. Imagine this young lady is saying that a photo was given to me of the young lady, which I will not put up. But this young lady, at no time did she say, condolences to the family. 2 persons died. I was told that the third one is in hospital. She had a stroke, by the way. One of the security guards, the third one, she had a stroke. And right now, she's on the machine where it is breathed with, you know, the long machine that keeps you alive. That is the machine that she's on. But the latest that we heard is that she got a stroke. So after surgery. So, you know, our prayers are with the family. I mean, let me tell you something. In these times, if you never find God, it's time to start to look. Because really and truly, when you're told that you could live until 60 and 70, things ain't going down that road at all, you know. These days, you hit 20 and you're lucky. You have to thank God. Let's go. Hello? Hello?
Yeah, Inshan, good night.
Good night.
Yeah, Inshan, concerning the topic you're talking about, right? I want to find out something, right? What is the criteria? Why does you have to open a security company in this country?
Well, what happens is that the Ministry of National Security have regulations now that govern the whole security industry now, you know. It's under a whole different framework now. One would think that to run a security company now, that all those regulations are in effect, but as we can clearly see, it's not.
No, the reason why I'm asking the question, right? If you're transporting cash, and I think that they're supposed to have something in place where you're supposed to have at least 2 armored vehicles in your compound to do that kind of work, not so? I don't think you're supposed to be sending people with a Hilux to pick up that amount of cash.
I don't think it was even a Hilux. I think it's a Mitsubishi, which makes it worse.
No, but you know what I mean now? You know what I mean? Same for Vigo, but it has nothing to help you in case of an ambush like that.
No, but... Okay, well, let us play the devil's advocate here. Let us play the devil's advocate. If you own a security company and you do not have those vehicles, then you should have a contract with somebody whose vehicles you use. So in other words, you could be a security company and you're happening, you get a big contract, you have no armored vehicles. You could call a security company and say, here happening, hey, all you have armored vehicles, we go ahead and have a little partnership. And what is that, all you go just put, when all you be doing my pickup, all you go just put my logo with what they call it, a magnetic sticker on the side. Talk done.
Well, I think to answer your question, John, I think the security company have a part to play in it. The officers have another part to play in it, because if you know you're doing a job that is unsafe, you're supposed to say something. You're supposed to stand up for yourselves too.
No, but Kola, that is being done all over Trinidad and Tobago right now. Remember, there are people risking their lives for their employers. But remember, because of the state of the country right now, people cannot feed their family. So now it's desperate times, you know, and with desperate times, people are willing to do anything and everything to survive. And if you tell a man to go and transport cash, all he's seeing is his baby crying, you know. All he's seeing is his wife who needs things to cook. He's not seeing later on, boy, I got dead. These people are people who are feeding their families and ended up, you know?
Yeah, it's true. It's and at that aspect, no. Employers just exploiting their employees by giving them anything to work with them.
But that is happening all over. That is happening all over. And that is the sad reality. But thank you very much, Kola. Thank you so much. All the best. Take care. Let me just welcome RPM Express to this segment. And I would like to thank RPM for their continued excellent service. I would like to compliment the staff, Christian, Keisha, all of them. Well done. Keep up the good work, guys. Excellent prices, top of the line service, and on-time delivery. And if you have not joined up with RPM Express Couriers as yet, do it now, please. Let's go to our phones. Hello.
Inshallah, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
First of all, my condolences to those 2 officers who have died in the line of duty, trying to make an honest living.
Well done.
Every coin have 2 sides. Agreed?
Agreed.
Right. Wholly the security company responsible for their employees' lives. Now, it have 2 extremes in this country. One set of workers have too much rights and some have none at all. Them fellas can't complain. It's either you complain and they fire you. You know?
Yeah, that happens quite frequently.
The thing about getting an armored vehicle, if your name is not amalgamated or G4, if I'm not mistaken, I think those are the only 2 companies that have armored vehicles in the country. You know?
No, I think I saw this old company. Is it Sentinel?
Sentinel out of business long time.
No, but it also have telecom. I think this man,
yes, you're right.
Chinley,
you're right.
Chinley owned that one because I saw telecom.
Now, I want to make not really a connection, but I want to show you some. There's a statement I made about those 4 fellas who drowned in the pipeline.
Right.
The major cause is security or safety in that case, right?
Correct.
Safety.
Yes.
Because it's who could do the work for less.
Correct.
Now the security companies want to make more than 100% profit on the officers, you know. And it's a sad thing to know that a man who carrying a fire with a security company working for $22 an hour, one thing, you know.
No, but that's what I said.
$22 an hour, you know.
$17.50, $18.
No, that is what I'm talking about firearm.
Oh, firearm. $22?
$22 an hour, one thing, right? Right? And you know, well, I just mentioned what security companies charge for armed guards. Up to $70 an hour.
Yes, correct.
Now, I say they should begin pay like a police, right? But you have had cause to hire police for any reason?
Yes, I had. One is that...
What cost?
Well, one is that I can't remember offhand, but it wasn't cheap.
Right. Good. Now, you see, this raises a lot of questions about inequality in this country. I just want to make a reference to custom officers when they have to come to examine a container on your premises.
Right.
You have to pay them 2 meal allowance,
yep,
a traveling allowance, and 10 hours overtime. And if they reach by you before the container, they vex because they have an next one to go and examine somewhere close by. Right? Now, if you're paying for 10 hours overtime to have your container examined, the officer should be there from the time the container had to open to when it's finished. Now, let me tell you, the next racket will be going on with that same thing. If they're on one location and another customer call where they have to go and examine a container elsewhere, they say, go ahead now, open now, we're coming just now. Or they'll be juggling themselves between the 2 containers. Tell me how a container could be properly examined in that way. Now, since I was a little boy, I know we have a shortage of custom officers in this country, but apparently it's a clique. It's a clique to dig out people's eye. Now, at the ports, especially the port of Point Lisas, the port pay for customs 24 hours a day. But if your container leaving the port a minute past 4, you're going to pay overtime to gas stamp for $352.29.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true.
Right? So I want to know if I am their employer. you as the consignee, as the importer, are you their employer? The port has, but you see, it doesn't affect. It is one of the cause of inflation in the country.
Right. No, I agree. But one is that we're going all over the place. So I don't wanna take the conversation where we're going right now.
I understand. My point is, I'm trying to show you the kind of injustices in the land as far as where employed people are concerned. One set of people have too much rights, and our next set have none at all, and they're putting their life at risk. They don't have the right. The same thing I say about cutting costs in the pipeline, there's the same thing here too. They don't have the right equipment to do the job. You made mention about harness something to go up in in your advertisement board and thing.
Right.
You have to make sure that your employees have the right equipment to do the job. That vehicle is not the right equipment to do that job.
Right.
That's the bottom line.
No, I always...
All right, okay, I think I've been long enough.
Thank you very much, caller. Thank you so much. I always tell people, if that are dead outside my compound, you know. You know what I mean? That way, we safeguard ourselves. Eh? I have nothing to say. Let's go to... I was going good until I mentioned our van. Oh boy. All right, let's go to our lines again. Hello?
Yeah, good night, Sean.
Good night.
All right, here's one. I just want to put this out there. These couriers that transporting money, they're supposed to be bonded couriers, meaning they're supposed to put out a certain amount of money so in case somebody come and keep the money,
yeah, insured, the money is insured.
That it will be replaced.
Yes.
Now,
correct.
these companies that are doing that know they have the insurance rate. So they don't give any attention to safety or that kind of thing with the transport is concerned. You understand what I'm saying, right? So,
no, I fully understand. But you see, again, I understand what you're saying, but now, if you are the insurance company, normally, if you get in an accident but your vehicle was defective, the insurance could deny you payment on your accident, you know. So if you are insured to look after people money, but the tools and equipment that you're using was not appropriate, I don't think any insurance company would pay you any money there. I mean...
right, but then the next point will be the people who were the family who lost their loved ones and so on will now have to go personally after these companies to recover some kind of finance. So either way, that businessman, not so businessman as you think he is. I mean, if you're in security business, you have people who doing your work for you. They put in the dollar in your pocket, so you're supposed to secure the people.
No, I agree. Thank you very much, caller. I mean, if I was in that position, I always say, I just spend my money to make sure things up to mark. If I cannot get an armored vehicle, Patos, I will buy a panel van and I will fix it up myself. Because I know what I transport in. You understand? If here happening, jump high, jump low, I will find a way to make sure that that vehicle is safe, because you can't study the money and not study your employee. Because if you, I mean, I cannot, I even starting to even talk about it. I still see images while I am talking to you right now of this gentleman leaning over the side. Could you imagine what was going on in that man's head? Because here what happening, as a Muslim, right, how we believe that happens is that there's a process, right? And there is a visitor. And this is why they say your eyes, you know, when your eyes travel upwards, right, things become visible that you don't normally see. That veil is removed, right? So basically, you can imagine that man is aware of what is about to happen. He's fully aware. And the fear that is in that man's heart and the shock, that man is not thinking about anything right now about the money in the bank account. He's not thinking about when death is hitting you, you don't think about your wife, you don't think about your children. What happened? Are going and dead. Right? Because we are taught that even when that time comes, when you have to account, you will be running from your own family dread. Fathers will run from their mothers. Mothers will run, because everybody could be studying themselves. You understand? Correct me if I'm wrong, Sheikh. You see, right? I have a scholar here on board now, you know. Very eminent scholar here. So anything I say, you're ready to pull them up. Right? So let's go back to our lines again. Hello?
Yeah, John, good night, my brother.
Good night.
I just want to correct a little statement to make. The fellas, sorry for the security guards and them, don't misunderstand, but the fellas didn't put on a good job. The fellas leave the security guards with all the money. They leave with no money. They went with 2 bags of check. The police say so the night. That is what they escaped with in their vehicle. 2 bags with only checks. They didn't get a cent. All the money was recovered in the security vehicle. Not a cent they get. Not 1 black cent in charge.
You serious?
So they didn't do so well.
You serious?
Yeah, they went with 2 bags. But the 2 bags was only checks. So I don't know how they was cashing that. Like, they might have come by you. And then the rock changed it for them.
I gotta check on that. But then again, remember, they does have friend and family walking in the bank too, eh? All right. Thank you very much, Kola. But what has changed is that amount of checks. These days, people don't use that amount of checks. Eh? Do you say it's either card or cash? So therefore, and then the cash in transit van, they do not normally take the links, receipts and those things. That goes to the accounts. So that is something I wouldn't be surprised if they are saying that no money was taken to safeguard and to make it look good. I don't know. You understand? But we go anyway. Like I said, the allegations are about and we are waiting to see what is what. Let's go again. Hello?
Hello, good night.
Good night.
Is this insurance?
Yes, it is. Go ahead, please.
Good night. I think if a company needs to get a contract like that, they're supposed to have the right vehicle. And if they don't have the right vehicle, they should not be given that contract to transport money.
No, you are absolutely right, you know. But what happens is that, remember, sometimes a worker could come by you and hear what happening. He bring the best tools to show you that he have tools to do the work. And when it's time to do your work, he come with the worst, you know. He come with all kind of saw with bent up teeth and all kind of thing. So therefore, Trinidadians, that is why they call them Trickidadians, you know. Trinidadians have everything on paper. We have this, we have that. They take photograph of this, we probably have this. They take photograph of somebody else's warehouse with a name on it. This is Trinidadians. So,
but as a stake.
What's that?
I said people like that stake when they don't have the proper vehicle to transport the money.
No, I agree with you 1,000%. And you are absolutely right. What happens is that there should be no transport except if you have a CIT-equipped vehicle, a cash in transit vehicle. Thank you so much, Kola. Thank you so much. And of course, let's welcome our good friends of Rita. And if you have not tried their chia seed, do it now, please. Now, tonight, I'm wrapping up a little early because, like I said, we started heavy construction in Chaguanas. I'm down there every single day now. So the reason why I'm looking nice and charred, it is because I'm in the sun. So I've gone from black to dark black now, which I don't know if you could have reached there. But let's go. Hello? Hello?
Hi, good night, Inshan.
Good night.
I'm calling. I am one of the constables working with Allied Security.
Okay, go ahead.
Right? And I want to explain what is going on, right? The brunt of the blame is to be placed on the owners of Allied Security, right? 7 years now, the union, that's the Estate Police Association, have been lobbying, along with the branch members of Allied Security, many meetings with management, with Michael Nicholas, Sean Nicholas, Mitchell, Sullivan Mitchell, Victor Prasad, to get armored vehicles for officers to work in, to provide safety, right? We have been lobbying for bulletproof vests. They have us using vests that is 7 years old.
Okay,
right?
So the vests that you're allegedly using, I believe those vests have an expiry date too, correct?
That's right. Yes, that is right. All right, a vest normally lasts probably about a year.
What?
Right? They have us using these vests, right? And people are calling and saying that, you know, officers, they choose to do that, right? But they're not understanding how the security system works, right? For instance, if somebody comes and they report that they don't want to work on CIT because the vehicles are not safe or whatever, you know what they do? They pick the furthest point for that officer. They say, no problem. They would pick the furthest point. So if our officer is living in Port of Spain, they would send them deep south to work, right? They would take the south officers and send them quite Mount Hope to work. And this is the victimization that goes on constantly, right? So this is the reason that officers would go to work.
And you're saying
CIT knowing that they are not in an armored vehicle.
No, but caller, you're saying that this is a general thing in the security industry.
That's right.
No, but let me ask you a question. Does Allied have any armored vehicles?
No.
We.
They bought a vehicle a couple of years ago, and it's to the back of the office. They bought a panel van. They were going to fix it up, and it's just there rotting in, right? And you wouldn't believe it, Sean. After this happened, the next day, right, the boss, that is Sean Nicholas and Michael Nicholas, they were going to find money to buy 2 vehicles. So we had to have our comrades die before they could have put these things in place, right? You're telling me that the government couldn't put things in order, lobby, that all companies are required and mandated when they are doing cash in transit that they have armored vehicles? Why? Why we wait until people die
but isn't that
to do these things?
But isn't that part of the whole security arrangements right now? Because quite frankly, I know that there was this big brouhaha about the whole security industry and regulations, and you need to be registered, and you need this, and you need COCs, etc. Wasn't there this big thing? So therefore, wouldn't that be what you're saying there already be enshrined in the law?
Well, apparently not. With this government, we don't know what is going on. I tell you, as I said, Inshan, is how much years? 7 years now we have been lobbying for things to make the officers comfortable, CIT, and you're seeing it today. What has happened? Our comrades, 2 died. 1 is in the hospital, right? She needs blood, and now she got a stroke today.
Yeah, I heard that.
She's between life and death, you know, and these companies, these managers, they sit home and just collect big money, and they don't care about their officers. And it's high time somebody do something.
Can I ask a question? Do you know if the mother who is on life support right now, if she is the sole breadwinner, and if it's her alone?
Okay, well, she has 2 big daughters.
Right.
But she has a son, I think it was 11 years. Right? And just recently, last week or week before, her daughter had a child, so she welcomed a grandchild. And look what
so
it's
going on.
So
is a grandmother?
She is a grandmother again. Right? This woman is 57 years, 3 years away from retirement. And she's on a bed in Mount Hope, between life and death. And you know what's the funny thing, Inshan? Management didn't even have the audacity to contact the family and pass on their regards, you know, Inshan. That is how sad Sean Nicholas, Victor Prasad, and these guys are, you know. No care for the workers whatsoever.
Well, what I'll try to do is that I'll try to get on to them sometime tomorrow, because what happens is that, quite frankly, you know, this is all over right now, and of course in a few days' time it's going to die down, because, you know, Trinidadians, things like this will die down. But what
I would advise you, if you could get in contact with the Estate Police Association president.
Yeah, I'll do that tomorrow.
Live on here, and he would highlight these points.
Okay. Excellent. Do me a favor. You could WhatsApp me tomorrow and we'll discuss it a little bit further. Because what happened is that, like I said, tonight I'm wrapping up at 9 p.m. and it's 9 p.m. So what I would like to do is I'd like to hold all calls. Let me thank Miran for sponsoring this segment. And of course, just a reminder, Ronix, what we're doing in the next few weeks, we're going to, now, I didn't want to say this, but you know, when I decided to get into this type of business, I was hoping that this type of business wouldn't have any skull. You know what I have come across, right? I have come across hardware managers telling me that if I give them a 10%, that they go carry me tools. You know, And I say, what the boss think about that? I say, just go through the boss. They say, no, well, we just do the purchasing, so we got to take the cut. And then it have people who you want to sell your tools to, and they call in to tell you, here what Ishmael boy, my drill gone. You could send one for me. And I realized that this industry called the hardware industry have a set of pipers and have a set of conmen. So what I'm going to do is that from next week, I'm going to spoil things a little bit. I'm going to spoil things a little bit. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to hold back from selling hardwares. And I'm going to sell direct to the public now. So you see the things that the hardware selling only for $50, I hitting only for $25. You're smiling because you know what? All you want to play crooked, I go and show you how I does rule. So here what happening? We starting from tonight. Guys, this slide. Those chop saw blades are making $1 on the chop saw blade. Those chop saw blades being sold in Bag One Sing right now. Where is the price in Bag One Sing? Zoom in the DeWalt chop saw blade. And these are fiber reinforced just like the DeWalt chop saw blade. $49.95 Bag One Sing have one blade for. I giving all you a fiber reinforced blade for what price, fellas? $24.95. Starting from tomorrow morning. Every single week I am going to have a special. I'm moving like a piper because here what happening. No hardware going to try and squeeze me to pay any bribe. I ain't going down that road. Hard luck. It have very few hardwares that I will sell now. I will hold back because some of them, like I tell you, some of them like sharks outside there. Imagine you going to some of these fellas and them. You're selling something for $3. You're making 20 cents on it. And they want to sell for $9. Nah, man. Here what happening. Everybody catching in and in. Time to change it up a little bit. So here what happening. Every week now, 2-3 items I put in on special. And I'm giving all your piper prices starting from tomorrow. All right, so God bless all you. Take care. And of course, I will remember there's a repeat of this program on Saturday. And one last thing. We have started installation of the blocks. And what happens is that for those of you who could afford, remember you have the opportunity, and I speak to the Muslim community, Sadaqatul Jariyah, where you have the opportunity to give towards this project, and it keeps working for you. So remember, if you could afford a bag of cement, if you could afford a pallet of cement, I would like to thank my dear sister, I wouldn't like to call her name, who sponsored 3 pallets of cement. Thank you so much. God bless you. They're using that up to present. And for those of you who would like to sponsor, remember this project is going to benefit the masses when it's done. And of course, let me just show the pictures again, guys, before we wrap up of the construction going on. Like I said, the blocks have started. It's a huge structure, right? And of course, there's a video showing you on the inside where the blocks have started to go down. Right. So, Patros, you know seeing the inside here, right? Yeah. So you think, right? Yeah. You see, that is what we're talking about. Right? So, anyway, God bless you. Take care. And I'll catch you next week for Breaking Barriers. Be safe outside here. Assalamu alaikum and good evening.